Rivka Imenu, our matriarch, Rivka, is going through a difficult pregnancy. And she starts to focus and analyze as to what's happening with this pain in her pregnancy. And she realizes that when she walks by the house of idol worship, there is a push from the right side. And she realizes when she walks by the yeshiva Shem Va'ever, there's a push from the left side. And so Rivka is confused. She thinks she has a very confused child inside of her belly. And she goes to the yeshiva of Shem Va'ever. Shem, of course, the son of Noach, and is someone who is a tzaddik of the generation, who's a righteous person of the generation, and who was given divine inspiration in order to give Rivka a message. And what does Shem tell Rivka? He tells Rivka that not only does she have one child, she has two children, and these two children are battling inside of her. And not only are they battling now, but they are going to battle after they're born. They're going to battle throughout their lives. And their children are going to battle for the course of human destiny. What are they battling about? They have very different approaches on an ideological level to what the world is about and what man needs to accomplish. And so Rivka, now understanding that she has her diagnosis, perhaps she starts to feel a little better, but she's challenged knowing that when these children are born, she is going to have a very hard time raising them. And Rivka moves on. But for us, there's a daunting question about this medrash. And that question is, Esav wants to run to the house of idol worship. Understood. That's what he's all about. But Yaakov, we are told, is learning like every Jewish child learns Torah with a malach, with an angel inside his mother's womb. What could be better than having a personal Torah partner, a personal chavrusa with an angel? Why is it that when Rivka walks by the yeshiva of Shem Va'ever, Yaakov tries to get out? And so Chazal, our rabbis, teach us, it's not about Yaakov's study partner, it's not about his chavrusa. Yes, there's nothing better than learning Torah with an angel. It was about Yaakov's roommate. Yaakov understood that a hindrance to his ability to internalize what he was being taught, a hindrance to his spiritual ability and spiritual growth, was the person who he was spending time with in the same room. It was Esav. And he realized that he could not internalize the Torah that was being learnt on a spiritual level because Esav's mere appearance, Esav's existence in the same place was pulling him back. I think this is a very, very powerful lesson for our lives. There are moments of inspiration that we all have where we want to grow on a spiritual level. Whether that means grow davening, or whether it means grow in our Torah study, whether it means growing in our chesed, all kinds of ways that we are inspired on a spiritual level. And when we have those moments, we commit ourselves to saying, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do that better. And yet, there are obstacles in our way, and sometimes those obstacles pull us down and become a major hindrance for us from achieving our spiritual goals. So it's important for us to be in touch with our spirituality. It's important for us to be in touch with our neshamos and the goals of growth with those neshamos. And it's also important for us to make sure that we separate ourselves from anything that is hampering us from growing. That means that if we're impacted or we're intimidated by growing by someone else, that we impact them and that we inspire them to be able to grow. That we don't allow ourselves to be pulled down because this is what happens here, but that instead we inspire and we change our surrounding to be a place where we feel that our spirituality is nourished and our growth is attainable. May we learn this important lesson from Yaakov Avinu and apply it to our lives on a regular basis. At our homes, at our Shabbos table, in our shuls when we daven, when we have a break to learn Torah, and how we perform chesed and treat others. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.